It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and I am here in Coronado with Hannah at a long-time client. As a matter of fact, this was like my first client in Coronado, so I have a long history with these folks. They're lovely. And Denny, the mister, he is also a general contractor. He actually built this home, and he is Mr. Fix-It. So he just recently restuccoed the house. And in doing that, he had to take all of the plantings out of the beds. He relined this raised bed with waterproof material, and he moved this yucca like 6 inches so that the light would cast just right on the wall. Denny is a perfectionist. He built a beautiful dry stack little retention here with cobbles. There's no mortar. These are just set with stabilized decomposed granite, and it's just a really neat organic kind of a look. And what we are tasked to do today is to plant out this raised bed and this bed here. Now, a couple of caveats is there's no irrigation. He doesn't want water in these areas because of the house and because these people just don't water. So he doesn't want anything that's going to compete with the yucca in terms of casting shadows. And I needed something here that would give height against this wall, but also be extremely drought tolerant. Now remember, in Coronado, this is very, very coastal. It is literally an island. So there is very, very mild temperatures year-round. We never worry about freezing. We never worry about conditions getting really, really hot. So I can get away with a lot here, and I intend to do just that. So in this raised bed here, you can see that Denny has already put down weed fabric. And that's actually a good idea because we're not going to be planting these out real heavy. We're going to be doing minimal plantings. So what Hannah and I are going to do is take scissors and just cut openings for, you guessed it, our Pilosoceras. I'm going to stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5-gallon specimens in this bed and do some interesting work with rock. And this little rustic primitive trellis, the client found in, I think, in an alley, and it's really, really cute, and it does soften the wall, so I'm going to work it into the design too. But this will be very, very minimalistic, no water needed. And in time, these Pilosoceras will grow to be quite tall. If the client does see fit to do some watering once in a while, they'll just grow faster. And here, I'm going to do this little Mamilaria Cactus and this really, really cute little agave. I'm not, this was a one-off at Waterwise, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. It looks kind of like Keto Con, but it's not variegated at all. So my thinking is, due to the diminutive nature of the leaf, that it's going to stay fairly small. Let's hope for the best. So that will go in here. I also cherry picked out some really cool rocks from KRC. These are called pot rocks. They're kind of like lava, but they're actually quite heavy. This client really likes a very, very organic, natural kind of look. So I also pulled some Baja Cresta rubble. So these pieces were hand selected by me, and I'm going to work them into the design as well. So Hannah and I got the Pilosoceras planted in here. I am so glad I got 5. I was almost tempted to get 6. But see how we left a couple of feet apart. I think that these are just going to be spectacular as they continue to grow up against this giant wall. Now I have a couple decisions to, oh yeah, look. They're homemade dog treats from the client's dog to Bentley the succulent dog. And I've been told that there are bacon bits in them. They actually smell amazing. I don't know if these are going to make it home for the dog. I might just eat them. Anywho, just the perks of the profession. Now, here, we've staged our boulders. I've planted my agave and my little cactus, and I need to make a decision. I need to decide which of these rocks I'm going to use where. And my instinct told me right away, use the bigger rock in the raised bed and use the smaller rock in this larger bed. And now I think I understand why my instincts took me there. See this cobble dry stack? I think that if we went with the larger river rock in here, it would just be too complementary, and it would create confusion, and this beautiful dry stack would be lost. You can see a little bit of Palm Springs gold back there in the corner, and I think that that's going to be a really nice contrasting rock in this larger bed. This river rock is going to work really, really well in the smaller bed, because as these cactus grow, they're going to carry the weight of that rock really well. Also, there's a lot of blue in this rock and contrasting colors. Like, look at this one. They're not even clean, but this is pink. I mean, there's some really beautiful rock that I think will go beautifully with these cactus. Then we're not done. You know, once you get your top dressing down, that's all well and good, but that's where the fun comes in. I've got some rubble, some Baja Cresta rubble over there to play with. I bought some bagged rock at the rock yard. So we are just going to keep taking this up and taking this up and taking this up until we step back and go, that's it. So, you know, we laid out the Palm Springs gold. Well, okay, back up. We staged our boulders, popped in our two little cutesy plants to kind of flank this beautiful yucca.
And the homeowner laid the rock.
Yeah, actually Dennis said, put me to work. He said, I'm a pilot by trade. I pilot here and I pilot there. So he moved all the rock around for us, which was really helpful. And you'd think I was done, but I started with my third element. You know how I love to do my ribbons. And Hannah said, ooh, stop. Why don't you show them what you're doing? So we had some burgundy 3/4 inch, and what I want to do is really showcase this yucca plant. So it's kind of like putting a doily or a placemat underneath a display on a table. That's kind of the idea behind this laying out of rock. I want to create a tableau, if you will, an area for this to sit on so that it's really showcased. So that's what I'm doing. And my method, oh dear, look at that. That's not good. I got all that rock up in there. Well, that's what clippers are for. Bring it around a little. And you know what? You can mess with it. If you're not happy with what you've done, move the rock around. Step back, take a look. I'm feeling it. I want a little on this side of the plant too. And then I'll ribbon. Whoo! Yeah. Okay. So all I have to do is just tighten this up a little bit. You know, another neat thing about this is an above ground raised bed. So nobody's going to be traipsing through here. We don't have to worry about pets or dogs or people, you know, messing up our rock work. It should be very safe. So, you know, don't be intimidated. I mean, this comes from years of practice, but I will encourage you to be brave. Throw that rock down, step back, take a look, be willing to work with it, to pick it up, to move it, to change direction until you get it looking the way that you want. Okay. I love it. I love the way it looks around this pot rock, how we're hugging that rock. I think that's so pretty. So basically, you know, I'll work a little bit later on getting the rest of it out from around the base of the plant, but you get the idea and just how dramatic and what a nice little brush stroke this is in this installation. Yay. Simple, fantastic. Also, we got our Pilosoceras all top dressed in river rock like we talked about. I also found this rock that the client brought from around back. Isn't it beautiful? I just stood it up on its head and I just thought that was such a pretty little addition to this bed. We also took and ran a ribbon of leftover river rock over here against the Heavenly Bamboo to kind of balance and tie in the two sides. Very happy with that. And then at the front door, we popped in a little Euphorbia Trigona in this pot over here. I think this is the perfect thing. It shouldn't grow much. It should stay pretty well just as it is. And these plants were already in this container. These aeoniums, which I left alone. This Aluaudia procera, as you can see, it's still hanging in there. The rest of the plants I added along with some little black Creva top dressing. I'm going to water this in really well, but knowing that the clients don't water very often, I tried to choose things that I knew would be pretty tough on their own. So this has been an extremely rewarding few hours for Hannah and I. We've really enjoyed coming over and just making some tweaks before the holiday. And it didn't really take that much time. It didn't really take that much material. So maybe you break it down. Maybe before Christmas you just tackle your entryway, or you do up a pretty pot or two. Whatever you decide to do, remember to have fun and know that if you think it looks good, it does. This has been Laura Eubanks with Hannah Eubanks in Coronado with your succulent tip of the day.